it's wrong. When people characterize his presidency, his first term, as being like a peaceful one, that is rose-tinted glasses. That is them just kind of like, forgetting all the little day-to-day things going on. And, I always try to correct that. It doesn't sound like you fall into that category, so that's fine. Do you have any thoughts on that one?
No, there was a lot going on those 4 years, and I absolutely do agree with you. My thought at that time was I just wanted our boys to come home because, in my opinion, that was just the point. I'm not going to say completely pointless war, but it got to the point where it was just unnecessary, and at what cost? How many young men got to die? The number already hit almost 3,000 at that point, and so that was my mindset at the time. Obviously, we see how that played out. And I know somebody mentioned the amount of airstrikes, things like that. And then the conflict in Syria was an absolute fucking shit show. But moving forward, I don't see anything getting better either, especially the Ukrainian conflict. I think that is important, and anybody who's read their history books understands the significance of what's happening right now. So, really what I'm saying is that's, like I said, that's my biggest reason why I voted for him, but that's the biggest reason why he didn't get my vote the second or third time.
And that's perfectly what that is. Approach to it.
Can I say one last thing before you guys drop me, and then I can just listen instead of talk? I just want to throw this out there, not directed.
You're welcome to stay.
Okay. Well, not directed at any one, place or person or whatever, but even though I don't agree with some of the either small battles or wars that America has had, I agree with every single last service member being placed in their position at wherever they, fought in their battle or their war. I definitely support the troops, whether I agree with the war or not. Sometimes they didn't ask to be sent there. Their intentions were there. So whether or not I agree with the war or politicians, I definitely agree with all the service members every time, 100%. So,
what's your view on Trump's first term? Because you're also Trump's supporter, is that right, Big Rick?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't agree 100% with everything that conservatives and Republicans have to say or their views or policies or whatever. I just felt like it kind of felt like as far as like kids and stuff and our parents, as far as like kids and stuff and our parents.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing this Saturday morning? How are we doing? As soon as you get here, let's tap the screen, share the live. Try to get our numbers up here and get some conversation going with some MAGA. See if we can find something to debate about, which I'm sure won't be too hard. Fix this. Tap screen. Morning, Karen. Morning. Tap screen, share the live. Let's try to run this up to a couple hundred people if we can, at least 100. The little small little gift goal will help us do that with the chili peppers, 100 chili peppers. But tapping is clapping and sharing is caring. That's going to help us first and foremost. Let me see if I can pin this. There we go. Pin that gift goal there. Trump getting it done. Boom. Come on up here and tell me, Jay. Come up here and tell me how Trump's getting it done. Turn on your invites, Jay. Come on up here. Violation detected 3.0. Simplify. Yesenia, good morning. Good morning. Hi, Jazz. President Elon is doing Master Putin's bidding. 100%. 100%. I do not disagree. I do not disagree in the least. Let's see. Okay, we're looking pretty good. 115 people in here. Trump supporters, where are you at? Trump supporters, request up. I want to hear what you have to say. I got my soundboard going today. Let's see if you guys can hear this. You guys hear that okay? Keep fighting for democracy. I will, Chaz. Yes, Holly, Sam. Okay, cool. I got a cool little soundboard that I found on uh TikTok, I think it was. Yeah, TikTok shop. Let's see what John has to say. Look at Ace, Richard Cranium. So clever. John, are you a Trump supporter?
Of course.
Of course. Okay, what state did you vote out of?
California.
Holly. Have you been up here before? I don't think.
I have like a month, a few weeks ago, maybe.
Okay. I thought sometimes I don't know. I recognize people's voices or.
You thought I was. We talked for like 5 minutes, and you thought I was like not a real person or something, or you thought I was trolling, and I wasn't trolling. I was being serious.
Okay, I can't. I get so many people up here like trolling or whatever. So so did
Yeah.
did somebody kick you? I can't even remember, man. What happened?
No, I think he just said like, "Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one."
Oh, okay. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, so let's just reset it. Let's just reset, I guess. So where are you at with the state of things, I guess?
Bro, I'm euphoric. I'm looking at the Trump administration from January 20th onward till today, and every single day is like Christmas.
Re-
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Oh, okay. Now, okay. This is why. Okay. Now I remember. Now I remember you. Now I remember you. It just sounds funny, man. Come on.
It's just like it's how I feel.
Everything.
Everything. I mean, he's doing the best he can. He's doing a good job.
Okay.
You
Uh,
can you prove that he's a Moscow agent? I mean, that's
I've never said
or
that. I've never said that. Now, do I think?
in the background. Is that just a clickbait thing?
Yeah, I mean, what? Moscow
It
agent.
says Moscow
Oh
agent
yeah.
company.
I mean, yeah, that's just kind of to stimulate conversation or whatever. I think that Donald Trump is
Oh,
an actually an agent. No. I mean, if it turned out somewhere later down the road that he would be, I guess I probably wouldn't like be overly surprised. But I don't think there's like any actual validity to that. But yeah.
okay,
I
fair.
do think he's sympathizing. I do. I feel like as far as Ukraine and Russia goes, I feel like he's more placating to Putin than taking care of Zelensky. But yeah.
Are you? Do you have strong feelings about the Russia-Ukraine war, or
So it's kind of a new topic
I
for
mean,
me.
if you were to stop it, would you care, or what do you feel like?
No,
Are
I
you
mean,
one of these like defend Ukraine till the end type people?
no, I mean, I think it's important that that we defend them, because they're a democracy and to uphold the Budapest Memorandum and things like that. I think it's important that
They're a
we,
democracy.
well, they're trying to be a democracy. Well, yeah, they're a they're a democracy. I mean, how would you say that they're not?
Well, first of all, he canceled elections and he
But they
banned
can't.
the Russian Orthodox Church.
But can they? But are they allowed? Are they allowed to hold elections during wartime?
Well, I don't know, but I mean that's pretty crazy. America held elections during previous wartime, so if they're a democracy, I mean, they should be doing that.
I mean, this is my understanding is that that's why that's not happening.
Okay, well, why did they cancel? Why did they ban the Russian Orthodox Church?
That I don't know about. That part I don't know. You'll have to like bring me up to speed on that.
Okay, yeah. Well, earlier in the war, Zelensky, yeah, he banned the Russian Orthodox Church from banning them from practicing
And
it.
what was the reasoning behind that?
He
Because
didn't really give a reason. He just, I mean,
let me pull it up real quick. Hang on. Zelensky banning. What was it? What kind of church?
uh, Russian Orthodox Church.
Russian Orthodox Church. Okay, let's see here. All right. Ukraine's president signs law banning Russian-linked, also known as Moscow pa Patriarchate. Let's see what they say here. Ukraine festival on religious. Okay, so I guess he's doing it because they're linked to Russia. The main target of the
That's the
law
Russian
is the.
church. I mean, that's just such a crazy excuse. I mean, doesn't that sound like something a dictator would say?
I mean, I
That
don't.
doesn't fly in America. Like, can we?
Yeah, I mean, if we
Can
tried
we?
to ban a church here in the United States, I think that would be very problematic. But I mean, didn't Donald Trump like? Doesn't he have like a huge issue with Islam and things of that nature? Not that he's ever actually. I mean, he did have a Muslim ban at one point, if I remember correctly. But as far as like
Muslim countries that have like high T rates. I don't think you can say that word, right?
yeah,
TER, yeah, high rates of that. Um, so yeah, no, that wasn't like a total Muslim ban. He might have said it, in passing, but he says bombastic things, but he doesn't really.
what about Trump's new thing where I can't remember what it was called, but something he was signing so that Christians aren't being prosecuted per se. I don't feel like that Christians are being prosecuted. If anything, I think it would be the other way around in terms of other religions and how that.
Oh, Christian, yeah. Persecuting or prosecuting?
I'm sorry, not prosecuting, persecuting. Sorry.
Absolutely not. So, that.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean that sounds. I don't know if they are being persecuted, but you know, if they're not being persecuted, then that ruling would do nothing.
right.
But if they are being persecuted, then that'll help them. So I feel like that's a
Yeah. Well, that's what
either way seems like a good.
yeah. So I feel like Donald Trump's always like, you know, starting the fire and then wanting to put it out and then like, take claim or take credit for, putting a fire out that was never really there. 'Cause that's kind of how I look at it in that particular regard.
Can you give me an example? I mean, the Christian persecuting thing that seems like a minor topic. I don't really.
That's exactly my point. It seems like it's a minor topic but why did he go?
Minor, I mean, like, I don't really ever hear anybody talking about that. Like, can you like give me an
It,
example
ha-
of something that's like a more of a major topic that's being discussed?
oh yeah, so like him banning TikTok in 2020 and then turning around and saying that he saved it, or wanting to ban it and then turning around saying that he wanted to save it.
Well, he had a change of opinion, and that's over the course of 4 years. I mean, you're allowed to.
But how come? But that seems like the Republicans didn't hold the same energy when Kamala Harris changed her opinions of things on like fracking and stuff like that. But she had a change of opinion on the environmental policy, but you guys like were scrutinizing the shit out of her on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kamala Harris is just a ridiculous person. I don't think she has any right. She has no business holding the highest office like that. But no, I mean, I wasn't personally, you know,
say anything. I mean, I think Democrats, Republicans, everybody's allowed to evolve their opinions. You know what I mean? Just like with gay marriage, Barack Obama, he was against it, and then he changed his view on that. People do that.
Yeah. So why don't you think that Kamala Harris should be running for president? Like, as far as like, what don't you think? Why don't as far as like qualifications? Let's talk about like Donald Trump prior to him taking office the first time as compared to Kamala Harris. Who do you think had more qualifications as a whole to like run for that position?
Well, I think that Trump, although he had no political experience, he was clearly a genius, billionaire, state developer,
Oh, man, you can't say
successful
genius.
businessman.
You can't say genius.
Hey, man, you can't say he's low IQ.
I would
At
definitely
least give him that.
now I would definitely say that he's low IQ. Where I think that he excels in, where I think that he excels in is selling himself and selling his message. That I would say,
Say that. I'll tell you why I don't say that. Because he went against the entire Democratic Party, the entire media, and he won two elections, and he did that while being low IQ. So if a low IQ person went against all you guys and won, what does that make you guys? You guys got to be lower IQ than him.
like I said, he did a better job at selling himself. I get what you're saying. But the problem in lies is this, and I was talking about this in a live earlier, is a lot of voters, probably unlike myself or you, are for the most part like not as educated as they could be when it comes to legislation and all that kind of stuff. And I'm no expert. Yeah, exactly. Both sides, 100%. I agree. Yeah, both sides. Yeah, yeah. So I would say a big part of that was his marketing towards that demographic of people that weighed heavily on the outcomes of the elections. So in that regard, he's a fucking genius in terms of how to be able to do it.
Middle America, that they weren't really political, they never really voted before, and then they came out for the first time for him. Yeah, I mean, say what you want to say. You can not like it, but only a genius can do what he did. I just feel like you got to at least give him that. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of petty to just not give him that. It's just so obvious. I mean, the guy is very bright. I mean, like, come on. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yes, it just he's a force of nature.
Okay, okay, let's like try to drill it down a little bit. Do you think it was a good approach for the Zelensky meeting? Do you think that was a good approach to attack him and to continue to attack him the way that?
If like for on a like as far as like diplomacy, if that's like technically should you do? I was laughing my ass off, dude. I thought it was hilarious. And I mean, Zelensky, he has squandered hundreds of billions of dollars from the American taxpayer. And for what? I mean, let's seriously logically walk through the Russia-Ukraine war and see how it ends and what possible options are. These people are unaliving on both sides for no reason. For no reason, because Ukraine can't win. They can't win without U.S. and NATO intervention, boots on the ground, and that'll never happen. And if we did do that, and if Russia did feel like we were winning because we added U.S. and U.K. and France, French and German troops on the ground, if they actually felt like we were winning, they would just start flying nukes at European capitals. So there's no like literally when Trump told Zelensky that he's playing with World War III, that's true. That's literally true because the only way they can win is by setting off a World War III. But as long as only Ukrainian troops are on the ground and we're just giving them support monetarily and with weapons and whatever, they're never going to win. They're going to run out of.
Hey, John, you said Ukraine lost billions of dollars. I'm on my computer because I have a computer, right? And I can't find anything to substantiate that other than Trump said that. Do you have anything to substantiate that?
Well, if I said lost, I misspoke. I just meant that they took.
So they misappropriated it, but I can't find that information either. Like I heard Trump say it. Do you have any source that actually confirms that's true?
I don't know. No. Oh, I didn't say that.
That if you don't know if it's true or not.
Well, what I meant to say, if I misspoke, was just that they took hundreds of billions of dollars from us. I don't know how they spent it.
I think the total number was like 175 billion, something like that.
Well, my argument is that since the war cannot be won without starting World War III, and putting U.S. troops on the ground, then they are squandering it, they are wasting it because they're fighting a war that they cannot win. So regardless
What
of
would your solution be?
how,
What would you do?
the solution would be to talk with Putin and settle it and let them have
What
the
that doesn't mean
territories that
that
they
doesn't
took.
mean anything though. Can you be more specific? Like talk with Putin and settle it. Like that's like you just scratch my ass. It's the same meaning. What you just said it means nothing.
Yeah, no, the solution is peace talks.
Then what?
Some settlement.
Peace talks how?
And-
Like
and then we
they
move
tried
on.
that, right? We've had like how many ceasefires that they've broken? What are you talking
Ukraine needs
about?
to give up the territories that they lost.
Oh, so that's it. So give Putin what he wants.
Yeah, because
That's not.
Yeah.
They're going to be. They're not.
what's
gonna
your
agree with that.
solution? What's your solution?
My solution would be to keep funding them fucking 1% of our military budget for a single year and destroy their military and their economy.
Okay, and how are they going to?
That's what they're doing, though.
That's not going to happen. Yeah,
But no is
they've been winning.
Hold on,
Ukraine has not. Ukraine has not
no
been
is
taking
an
any
argument.
territory.
But no, it's not an argument. But no.
We're giving Ukraine money. They're not taking any territory back. It's not happening.
Because they're not supposed to attack Russia. That's part of the deal, right?
Yeah, the second that Russia feels threatened, even if Ukraine started to win, Russia would just nuke them. So, like, what are you even talking about?
But your
Russia has more nukes than anybody
Your
in the
solution
world.
is to give the ruthless dictator who invaded a sovereign country land, the territory he stole by unaliving thousands of Ukrainians. That's your solution. Just to be clear. Hey, John, you're so fast. Who started the war?
Ukraine started it.
John, you're a clown, dude. You're like a total fucking clown. Like, how does this conversation go forward that's crazy, dude. Like, I understand why you're not on camera. I understand why you have a cat picture as your avatar. Because you're like actually like you have a big red nose, big red shoes. Like you're a fucking clown, dude.
Okay, you're just gonna call me names. I mean, that's not hard.
Yes, I'm gonna call you a clown because you are a clown.
That's
Just
not
stay
hard.
on camera now saying it. You are an absolute bozo.
Okay.
Let's try again. Who started the war?
So,
John, who started the war?
Ukraine broke the agreements. They said they weren't going to join NATO.
What agreement?
Well, they said we said that we were not going to let Ukraine join NATO. They tried to join NATO.
They didn't join NATO.
We're not going to put. They were trying to, and we were about to let them.
Where's that? Where can I find that agreement, John?
And
John, hold on.
We said that we were not going to put.
John, stop. Where can I find that agreement?
What agreement?
He just said there was an agreement. You said it, not me. What agreement?
That was, I don't know exactly when that was, but
there was no agreement, John. You're just repeating Russian propaganda. There's no agreement.
No, I'm not. It's true.
Okay, then go find me. So don't look. Go find me the agreement. We'll talk about it. But you have to find it now. What agreement?
Okay, well I'll have to go look.
Yeah, go look.
All right.
Spoiler alert, chap. There's no agreement. John, you're a simp for Trump and Putin. You're a simp, dude.
So you tell me how you think that Ukraine is supposed to.
Wait. You're supposed to go.
Without World War.
Hold on. You're supposed to go look.
No, because they can't win. So John, you just want innocent people to unalive.
John, you're supposed to go look for the claim you just made, right? So are you wrong or no?
No, I don't think I'm wrong.
Then go find the agreement.
But it doesn't really matter because Ukraine can't win.
John, your only job now is to find the agreement.
No, you don't get to tell me. You don't get to tell me when to talk.
Yeah, I absolutely do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, so you made a claim, right?
Okay.
Okay, so now you have to prove the claim you made, right? There's an agreement. You said it, not me.
Well, I don't care about that. I'll concede that claim. I'll let you.
Because there was no agreement, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really care.
I don't know. There's just no evidence of an agreement. None.
Even if there wasn't, Ukraine can't win. So why do you support us continuing to fund this?
Because we can't give Russia the land they stole.
But Ukraine can't. Ukraine is not going to be able to take it back without us putting troops on the ground.
Sure, they can. Let's fund the shit out of
them.
Let's keep destroying Russia's military. Let's keep destroying.
And then what happens? What happens when Russia's backed into a corner?
There's a sound clip I would suggest you listen to from Mitch McConnell where he talks about the reason why we are supporting Ukraine. We have destroyed their economy. We have destroyed half their military, and we have done nothing on our end to do that except for give them a measly
So
percentage.
the left,
of
let me get this
military budget.
straight. Let me get this straight. So the left, that used to be the anti-war side, they are resorting
John,
to siding with one of the worst neocons.
John, don't.
One of the worst neocons.
Hey, don't become a Twitter robot because you're losing the argument, please.
Okay. Well, Mitch McConnell is one of the worst neocons in the Senate.
I've heard it 1,000 times. So you're not.
No, but he's one of the worst neocons in the Senate.
What?
So the anti-war left has has morphed into supporting literally the worst neocons in the federal government.
No, we support Ukraine.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
John,
you think Mitch McConnell?
John, you lost.
You think Mitch McConnell is a patriot?
John, you lost this argument the second I asked you who started the war, and you said Ukraine. It's not.
No, I didn't.
Ukraine.
No, I didn't.
It's fucking stupid.
It literally doesn't matter who started it. Russia.
The fact that you don't know Russia, you
superpower.
You lost the argument.
You guys are crazy. Russia is a nuclear armed superpower.
Can I tell you what's crazy? Do you think that you want Trump to stop spending, right? To stop government spending?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we need to.
How much was the budget the House just passed, John?
I don't care about this stuff, dude.
So you don't care about. I thought you didn't like spending. That's the whole. You guys voted for Trump.
What did I say? What did I say anything about spending? I don't think I was.
Just in general, you guys usually voted for Trump because of spending. No.
I voted for mass deportation.
That's also stupid.
Why is that stupid?
Fool, who's going to replace the $100 billion of tax money they pay a year?
No, illegals are a net negative on.
Okay, show me a source for that one.
Okay, I'll get you a source for that.
I know he's in a source, a group called the Federal something Immigration Reform, FAIR. They are an anti-immigration propaganda group. Southern Poverty Center calls them a hate group. They were founded by white nationalists.
Yep.
That's what he's going to cite. That report he's going to cite, chat, doesn't just account for undocumented immigrants, it also accounts for asylum seekers that are legal migrants. So it's also a dishonest report. John's a clown, guys. John right now he's going to find his red nose, he's going to honk it a couple times. He's going to get in his clown car and drive away into the sunset. There's a reason why people like John use fucking cats as their profile pictures and not their faces. They are embarrassed. They are embarrassed to be supporting Donald Trump. They're embarrassed to be Putin simps. They don't show their face. They are clowns.
So fiscally, illegal immigrants are a net drain. They are a net drain. They create more in cost than they pay in taxes.
Yeah, what's the source for that, dude? John, what's your source?
That is the oversight.
John.
Oversight.house.gov.
And who runs that?
Clown.
Hey, clown, who runs that?
You're saying the House is white nationalist?
John, who runs the Oversight House Committee?
It's a government website.
John, I'm not asking if it's a government website. I didn't say, hey, John, is that a government website? I said, John, who runs the Oversight Committee in the House?
The government is not ran by white nationalists.
I didn't say that. John, which party runs the Oversight Committee? This isn't that hard. There's two parties.
Probably the Republicans.
Republicans, right? And the Republicans got that report from which group? Go back to Oversight. Find out where that report came from.
Doesn't matter. It's true.
It does.
You're attacking the source. You're attacking the source, but it's a fact, okay?
No, it's not, because I read the source. I read where they got it from, and the numbers there.
Okay, you can cry about it because you don't like the facts.
John,
you can cry about it because you don't like the
report,
facts.
And they're not just citing undocumented; they're citing legal migrants. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I don't want any migrants. I don't want legal, illegal. I don't want any of that stuff.
Then you would have supported the law that James Lankford, the bill he wrote, right, which would have helped lower migrants in this country, which would have kicked them out faster, which would have set a limit on them. You would have supported that, right?
I support all mass deportation efforts. If that's what he was doing,
but they're not deporting legal migrants. You can't do that. That's illegal.
Well, if we change the
law,
if we reinterpret the what is that amendment? For the anchor babies.
John, you are
14th Amendment. Hey, hang on real quick. Hondo sent me money to kick this guy. I wanted to see if after you're done with him, RJ, after you're done with him. But I wanted to ask Hondo, if I send you 2 free shirts, Hondo, can we keep this guy up here to keep this debate going on? Would that be acceptable to you? I'm totally open to whatever.
Is there any guests waiting?
No, there's not.
Oh, man. John, you're terrible at this. Like, really, really bad.
You're actually a faggot. Nigger, white power. Nigger.
Oh, never mind.
White power.
There it is. Every single time.
Every time.
Disregard, and I'm still gonna send you 2 free shirts, Hondo.
Every time, dude. He couldn't. He was like, he felt himself flailing and losing. So he's like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? Drop a slur. Drop a slur.
Hey, Hondo, will you shoot me a message? Hang on, where's he at here? Hondo, I need you to send me a message in here with your information or in my Discord so that I can send you 2 free shirts. If that's okay. Sizes and addresses if you're okay with that.
Hey, Gunny, I'm at work, dude. I'll hop back on if I see something fun, okay?
All right, man. We'll see you. That was a straight up dog walking right there. uh, ranting. Uh, hey, what's going on? Hang on one sec. Ranting. No, my PayPal isn't GunnyS Speaks Out. Are you in my Discord ranting? Hang on one sec. Okay, I'm gonna send me a message in Discord, and I'll send you my PayPal. I didn't want to. It's not the same as my Gunny Speaks Out, but it has my name in there, and I just don't want to. I don't like publishing my name in here. Send me a message in Discord, and I'll send it to you. Thanks. Okay, hey Nathan.
Discord as well because I would like to join it, but I'm turn it over to my husband. Nathan's
Okay.
retired Chief Warrant Officer in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
I love your lives.
Oh,
You always bring facts. Love you, Gunny.
love
Hang
you.
on, here's my husband.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for letting me come on.
No problem.
Wow, I was shocked by that last conversation. My gosh.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, my gosh. And I think I don't get where this disinformation is. Well, where people buy into it, but I guess it's just this social media stuff that we found ourselves in, which is crazy. But Ukraine is a democratically elected government. Their constitution prohibits elections during martial law.
Yeah, and I brought that up.
Yeah, which has been declared since Russia invaded them again. They invaded them in Crimea, and quite frankly, we rolled over on that one. And just like we did with Georgia, we didn't do a lot there either, and they seized territory. Well, at what point do we say enough is enough? And now we have our president saying we're going to invade, Greenland and Panama.
Yeah.
I mean, we're freaking bonehead. I mean, really? Come on, guys.
When was
Yeah,
the
like,
last time Donald
are we
Trump
even
was
fucking
seen in
with that?
church? When? When was the last?
It's like, you have a base here already. Expand it. We're fine with that. It's kind of like, duh. And then Panama? Really? Really? I don't. But anyway, it's just me. I will stand with Ukraine until they are done. I mean, the bottom line is, here's a country that's what size of Russia? What size comparison, which I haven't seen people bring up and show, but they are so small compared to Russia overall. And
Can you read this part? This guy right here. He says,
okay, I know.
Nathan's mom, Russia has been using
Since the 1970s. Well, I'm never. The bottom line is, here's a country that stood up, and quite frankly, yeah, they want to be a member of NATO, which I think is awesome, and so does Poland, who's a member of NATO right next door, that we've already supported. I mean, my gosh, folks. Yes, Europe should pay more. They've been working towards that since Obama. Obama brought that up, and they've been working towards it, and they're getting there. But this nonsense that we've done, no intel, We are now not doing cyber operations, offensive ones against Russia. Are you out of your damn mind? Really? I mean, I'm not a cyber guy. My sons are, but I'm not. And this is freaking nuts.
It is nuts. I've never seen anything like this. It's so.
What we've done is we've capitulated our leadership in Europe, in the, quite frankly, internationally, and China's looking at it like, wow, a vacuum. This is awesome. And we're going to fill it. And they will fill it. And so will Russia. And these idiots who are supporting this, I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, well, I mean, it's crazy. I wouldn't vote for a con man, never have. Wouldn't vote for a convict. I mean, we ought to have laws in place that say the president of the United States cannot be a convicted felon. Duh.
Well, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, well, and I mean, he cheated a children's charity. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
I mean, I just don't get it. I've lost so much confidence in our country, and it's kind of led me to believe, after 22 years, that I kind of served the wrong place, and that's disheartening. I served with such great people, such great Americans, young Americans, old Americans, whatever. I served with them, and everybody was committed to the same thing.
Mhm.
And now we're just disregarding everything they stood for. We're cutting people from the VA administration that hasn't been able to do their damn job since they were stood up.
Yeah. 83,000 people getting fired. And then, yeah, it's just it's just pure insanity the direction that our country is going.
Suicide rate that's out of control.
Suicide.
Or whatever it's called. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
just
That's okay.
every language there,
Smooth,
That's okay.
whatever we're calling that. But we never do a good job of taking care of our veterans. We never have.
Yeah. Oh no. Uh,
No.
if you're hang on real quick. If you're trying to get in my Discord and the link is expired, go ahead and just send me a friend request at GunnyS Speaks Out, and then I'll jump over to the server and pull you in that way. Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Is it in your link tree?
Yeah. Well, the link is expired. I got to renew it, but just do it this way. So just add me as a friend in Discord to GunnyS Speaks Out. I'll jump to the server and then pull you in that way.
Well, excuse me, sir. You will not follow me back.
What's that?
You won't.
What? I won't follow you back. What do you mean? You're gonna? Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm clicking links right now that people are sending me.
No, you I was following. So anyway,
Are you talking? Oh, wait. Are you talking about? Oh, I got you. I got you. Wait, hang on. I got you. There you go. There you go. You meant on here. Okay, you meant on here.
so
Are-
I've been every 2 seconds. Golden, she's an amazing. She's correcting me. She's so clever. Like, she's hilarious. Like, no, you can't say that. You can't say.
Oh yeah. Now that
Do that with him.
Yes.
He'll say stuff and I'll scream out loud and I'll be like,
Yeah. No.
dying laughing. I like.
He actually has to do that. I'm not a TikTok guy. I'm just. I have no idea what these.
I know. When you came into Levi's live that one day, she was like in the background yelling, "No, you can't say that.
No, you can't say that. I know, and I'm like, well, then why did you bring me in? Man, really?
Down for
No,
me."
she wrote it. Yeah.
Wrote it down. Yet he did it anyway.
Well, I'm not. I'm a Marine. We're simple people.
We are very simple people.
It's black and white. That's it.
Ask you a question.
Okay, I can't say that either.
Knowing what you know today, with this orange dipshit that's squatting in the White House, how do you feel in regards, especially with the DUI hire that's running the Pentagon? Would you have served today?
Hell no.
No. And I would tell my sons, no. I would
Yes.
tell them, no, absolutely not. And what I'm a little surprised about is we've had a little pushback from some of the former chiefs of, staff, etc. But we haven't had enough yet. I'm still waiting. This is nonsense. We're going to bring a 3-star Army general out of retirement, or Air Force, wherever he came from, who has not had the experience that we've normally had in a chief of staff, which is you have commanded forces at every level in a combat environment. Okay? And you understand what the total dynamic theater program plan has been and should be and evaluated, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Now we're going to bring this guy in because he's evidently pro-Trump.
Yeah.
And the guy we just appointed as Secretary of Defense was a captain in the Army. Okay?
Drinking on live TV.
Well, and as a chief warrant officer, I berated captains very frequently because of their stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Because not because they were actually stupid, but because they didn't have the experience to understand where we were in the environment we were in or where we were going. What the expectation should be. He is the most unqualified. I can't imagine what the world's leaders are doing, meeting with this guy, going, "Wow."
Yeah.
No, I'm not. She's giving me more advice off camera. I can't.
And Hegseth has never even, I don't even think he's ever commanded a company.
That's what I'm saying. It's like people don't understand the structure of the military. They
Yeah.
don't. Unless you're in. And I mean, a captain is normally in the Marine Corps is a company commander.
Right.
That's it. That's where you're going to get. That's where you're trying to get.
Yeah.
A division, a whole theater. You have no knowledge of how that works. None. Zero.
Right.
And now he's in charge of the whole dang thing.
Yep.
I mean, we have just put well, I'm scared. And now we've said we're not going to do offensive cyber security against Russia. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I mean, and quite frankly, what's next? If China says, okay, we're not gonna put these tariffs against you and we'll do whatever you want, just take away cybersecurity. What do we do then? Because we set this bar so low.
Yeah.
And Trump has entered the negotiations into Ukraine in a peace treaty, which you have to remember, in Afghanistan, he cut the democratically elected government out of peace negotiation.
Just like he did to Zelensky.
Well, exactly. But how'd that work out? Now he blames the whole evacuation and all of that, the retreat, Biden, but he did nothing to transition to the new government. They did a terrible job. So they didn't really know what they were dealing with. And then the military, I've got to say, performed extraordinarily well.
Right.
Yes, people got killed, unfortunately, unalived. I get it. And they were Marines, and yes. But overall, the numbers they were able to get out in the time they were alive is historic. It's absolutely historic. If you go look at it, compare it to Vietnam, where they just there. Except, they actually had the agreement in place, and it was done by the whole government. Off they went, but it was terrible. But Afghanistan was, and we had every part that stood by us. And I have to point that out because they stood by us from 9/11. They wanted their agreement.
Yep.
That an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. Now,
Anymore.
we seem, well, and that's what I'm so, and I hope I can say this, pissed off about, is we're not, who can trust us?
That's my big thing. Yeah.
Can you trust?
Yeah. And so,
I'm a huge Ronald Reagan fan, but at the end of the day, if we sign an agreement, he honored it, whether he agreed with it or not. And I mean, are you kidding me? The only reason, and if you really read history, right, and I'm not a doctorate of history, but my read of it, we waited to get into World War II. We waited, WW2, whatever. We waited to get into that until we were attacked, essentially.
yeah.
Well, we're kind of setting ourselves up to the same thing now. And we were the catalyst to Ukraine kind of, well, giving up their nuclear weapons. Right. When they left the Soviet Union, we were the catalyst to that. And now to say we're cutting off all aid when you're in the middle of the war with the, okay.
Gunny, do you have your settings set for 18 or 21 and over?
I do not.
Okay, that's why.
All right, so WH. I'm sorry. I don't understand how Americans can look at a country that has fought so bravely and continues.
My thing.
Our aid is so important to them, and our intelligence and European support has been amazing and all of that. That now we abandon them to say we want peace. He's taken almost, Russia has invaded almost a third of their country.
Do you think that this decision with Ukraine has permanently fractured our relationship with foreign countries moving forward, or do you think that we're going to be able to recover from this?
Can't imagine how it has. I mean, how could you trust someone that, every 4 years you have to worry about, oh, I'm going to honor that agreement. And even with Canada and Mexico, he negotiated the trade agreements we have in place with them.
Yeah.
Now he wants to tariff them 250% on dairy.
Yeah.
So how do we trust you moving forward?
Right. That's my big thing.
The next president, good luck to you. I mean, what an enormous job rebuilding you have to do. But we should not abandon anyone in Europe. We should be focused on the Far East, absolutely. Taiwan is in jeopardy, huge jeopardy, especially now, because China's looking at this going, you know, going to honor their obligations, what they've told these people. So we're in great shape. Mm-hmm. And so Australia, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, the whole area is looking at us going, can we trust you? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. With this guy,
America lost its power.
Well, I just think that we actually voted in the UN with North Korea. Mm-hmm. Right? Are you kidding me? The first time that's ever happened. And hopefully the last time that ever happened. I'm sorry.
You know what? So I don't mean to cut you off. What's happened?
I'm ashamed of serving the U.S. at this point.
Yeah, I mean, with what happened with Al Franken and how the Democrats went against him.
I agree.
I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, 10 Democrats voted to censor him?
Yeah.
What?
Jared Moskowitz was one of them.
That was ridiculous. But again, look at our political situation. We've allowed political parties at the local level, which the Democrats did not pay attention to. The Republicans focused on. They control the mapping, right? The districting. Well, we've lost that. So you've got Democrats sitting in areas that they're like, holy mackerel, I'm within 3 percentage points of losing the seat. Now, in a normal environment, I'm just going to throw this out, in a normal, we respect each other political environment, was his conduct contrary to that? And the answer, for me anyway, would be yes. But was it in response to contract that the Republicans had already exercised? And the answer is yes. But, there is an argument to be made. Do we act as bad as them, or do we get our, can I say, crap?
Well, we cuss all the time here, so I don't know.
I'm kind of torn on that. Part of me thinks that we should take the.
Look, some of the things we've been focused on, we shouldn't be focused on.
Yeah.
Right? They're not the lead issue. And we need to get back to truth matters. Truth matters. And oh, by the way, how was the economy during Democratic administration?
I think historically always better, right?
Yes. And we don't do enough of going, check the facts.
Yeah.
Check the facts.
Well, I think that we do a good job of stating the facts in these lives, and but I think the problem is that MAGA just doesn't care about the facts, because they don't want to believe the facts, and then who can you blame that on? Donald Trump.
We can blame that on, quite frankly, our educational system.
Yeah, but more importantly, like, since Donald Trump came out with the fake news and everything's a lie, and if I'm a big fan of Timothy Snyder, and he talks about this in his book on tyranny, and there's a section in there, it's chapter 10, it's called Believe in Truth, and he's talking about, essentially, what we need to be doing is speaking truth to power, whereas Donald Trump does quite the opposite, and because of the lack of education of, and you can agree to disagree on this or whatever, the lack of education from, I think it goes on both sides, but Trump supporters is the reason why that they're so easily duped into believing the things that he has to say.
Well, no, and I agree, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that all they look at is social media.
Right.
Right. And if we have not, it used to be, well, I had to go to the library.
Yeah.
Right? I went to the library. I went to the library for high school, for college, wherever. I went to the library. I had to research it. Well, you don't know.
What's the problem with our kids these days? What's the problem with our kids? Like, we had a 20-year-old on a live yesterday who was a 20-year-old, a freaking fetus, okay, talking to us like he knew everything, and he was the dumbest idiot. Okay, we're like, do you know how old you were when he was in office? You couldn't even vote, first of all. Okay, and you're here lecturing us and telling us when you don't even have the facts. We're old enough to be your parents. Okay, and you're lecturing us. You don't even have facts. We're trying to educate you, and all you're doing is cussing us out and yelling at us. Obviously your parents did not raise you right. You have no respect, and you don't want to learn.
Well, I remember when I went to school, and I'm a boomer. It was the 60s, but I had civics. In elementary school. I had it in middle school. And I had it. I think I don't anymore. Well, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
We were taught how government works.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, even my youngest son, he has no idea.
Yeah, this is nice
He has,
here.
well, no, but he has, yeah, he has no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be 49 in a few weeks, and I took civics.
Yeah.
Well, and thank gosh.
Yeah. I don't think my son will be taking civics because they don't teach it. So I'm going to be teaching her.
And who remembers this? Take a listen to this. This is my generation. Hang on one.
Woo, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this
Can you guys hear
Capitol
that?
building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper.
And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope
That's how I
and
know
pray that
basic
I will.
shit.
But today I am
Right
still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and
Thank you,
courage.
Democrat.
Well, I got
Okay, go ahead.
If the Democratic, if we get serious, the Democratic Party ought to be figuring out using what's available now. How do we educate people on what's the truth? And we ought to be using every avenue available. Now the Midas touch.
Mhm.
Yes.
They are starting. I mean, they've started it, but I think we need to somehow, as a party, go. How else do we do this? We should be holding town halls like weekly. I mean, my God.
Well, now the Republicans are saying they're telling the people to stop doing the town halls because, especially specifically the Republicans, because they're getting so much backlash at these town halls. Now they don't want to address the. Now they're saying, you know what? Don't even hold them anymore, and then we don't have to address the issues. I mean, that's not going to make the issues go away, but so that tells you right there that one, they deep down inside they know they're doing the wrong thing, and they just don't want to face the reality of the outcomes of that. They don't like it. So
And it's not Democrats. It's the amazing thing. The Speaker of the House, Louisiana, right? Is a state. They are like in the top 3 of SNAP benefits, which they're trying to.
Right.
And if they actually look at the economics of SNAP benefits, when you talk about giving those benefits to underprivileged families and their children, the economic benefit is almost 4 times what the expense is.
yeah,
4 times. So why aren't the Democrats, why aren't we yelling that from the mountain?
and I think there's statistics to prove too that SNAP and those types of programs have actually pulled people out of out of poverty.
That's where I'm going. Why aren't we seeing that or hearing that every dang day?
Mhm.
I mean, they're putting out their nonsense every day,
Yeah.
every day, and it's like they're following the Orange Menace everywhere he goes. Right?
I think the Democrats need to. I'm sick and tired of them going high when they go low. It's like, damn it, hit below the belt.
Yeah.
It's spineless.
Yeah, and see, yeah, that's what everybody had issue when Trump was speaking to the houses the other night that the Democrats didn't stand up and cheer for everybody that Donald Trump was tokenizing. I was okay with that. I'm a firm believer that we need to like take the fucking gloves off, and maybe not in every scenario, but in a lot of scenarios, and you say, you know what, all bets are off. It's time to fucking play dirty because that's all that you guys do is play dirty. Um,
I agree. Oh, hey, a nice nail polish.
oh, that's it's my OD green today.
I was like,
We went in and listed and was commissioned as a staff sergeant. And by the way, he's wearing all of his bracelets, so don't let him punk you. You damn really?
I'm not punking him. I just said I like this.
Yeah, no, I was funny. And this is the first time I've gotten in on his live. So, you know what? I mean, damn it.
Hey, I'm not. Hey, it's a gun.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna mess with each other regardless.
Right.
No, some bullshit.
No, it's not.
I just want to say that I have to get going on another live.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say thank you for having me.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I have a live to go to. We're trying to set something up.
Where are you going?
It's where should I follow you to? Because when my husband gets out of here and goes on to Paris Island, I'm going to speak with Gunny for a minute, and then I'm going to let him bring some of these MAGA demons in. So, anyway.
What live are you going to, Silence?
Her name is Cassie. It's a lady that picks up, basically. So we're trying to set something up. I'll send you an invite.
Sure. Yeah, let me know what I can do to help promote and assist on in that effort, if you don't mind.
No problem. Thank you so much.
All right, Simon.
Thank you both for your service.
You're quite welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Right, I'm out. Hey, Gunny, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man. We'll see you.
Stuck with me for a moment.
That's okay.
I do love the nail polish because you represent. So anyway, I have to constantly tell my boomer husband, because I'm Gen X.
Yeah.
I have to say, you can't say this, you can't say that, and I have to scream in the background. I'm like, account. So then I'm gonna have to go in and make like a few others. But I've been following you for quite some time.
Oh, okay.
Lives, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hang on a minute, Gunny. There, like grabbing Nathan in the headlock, just giving him grief. It's like, have you tried trash? No, I'm gonna go dump the trash in your bed.
Oh shit! That's one way to get him going.
Tell you, one morning, we got up. We always get up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
No matter what. I mean, even if we try to sleep in, I gotta go in the bedroom. These people are literally annoying me. We got up one morning and we noticed that like there were dishes in the sink, and Nathan had done his laundry, but what he did was he took it from the washer to the dryer to the couch, and he just dumped it there.
That's how I do laundry.
Gen Z was born in 2005, and I do have to admit that I've been a bit of a crutch for him because I have just smothered him because he's my only child. So, So anyway, so I'm just like, really? And so my husband, he came and he goes, what the fuck is going on here? And I said, well, and he goes, this ain't gonna fly. And my from California.
Yeah.
He's one of those Hollywood Marines.
Oh Lord.
He goes upstairs and he has like a baseball bat and a tin can, and he one of those trash cans, and he just beat it. And he's like,
Get up, get out of the rack.
My son looked up at our son and he goes, Dad, what the fuck is your problem? He goes, yeah. He goes, come downstairs Get your shit, fold it, and put it in your drawers, or I'm throwing it out on the front lawn. She goes, Mom, and she goes, Mom ain't coming. Mom ain't coming for you. And I'm literally down here in tears because I want to go save him. And he goes, don't you dare come up here. It's just really funny.
Nurse Debbie said her hangers are lonely. Nurse Debbie, I'm literally staring. I'm in the basement. I'm literally staring at a pile of two loads of laundry on the couch down here in the man room, and then there's another pile upstairs. My hangers are very lonely too.
And then I'm gonna drop so you can
Yeah,
bring up other. Would you like to see the man steps?
sure.
Okay.
Let me switch the grid to the grid so I can get a bigger view. Hang on one sec.
All
All
right.
right, there we go.
Just a moment. Now my husband doesn't want to be on camera. Hey, I'm gonna show Gunny the man cave.
All right, show Gunny.
Yeah.
Not that.
No, but it's kind of cool. Now, do I have a she shed? No.
Oh, no.
Oh,
But I'll-
Ranting, you're a Steelers fan?
Me?
No, I'm talking to Ranting in the chat. They're Steelers fans.
We have our garden flags. Let me just turn on the camera really quick. We have our garden flags. We have to put them out in the front yard again because we had a terrible storm the other day. This
Oh,
is
very.
one of. Don't blame me. I voted for her, and have the day you deserve. And then we're gonna put our Ukraine one back up.
I got you.
So let me go upstairs. Sorry, I'm taking you with me.
Oh, you're okay.
It's like that episode of the Goldbergs. You're making me climb the stairs. Let's see.
Very cool, Ranting.
Yeah. So I'm from South Carolina. I was born and raised in South Carolina. So this is on the front of the man cave.
Gotcha.
Go Cox. This is something from, you know where that is, the Augusta National Golf Club. We don't really care. I'm not a golf fan. But anyway,
Look at,
this is,
oh, the marine pillow.
yeah, I bought that for him. And so let's see. This is the book that I bought him and I read it. It's an amazing read. If you guys want to look at it and read it, it's A Promised Land.
Okay.
It's amazing. And here is beer, the reason I wake up every
Oh my
afternoon.
God.
And then there's this with
Gamecock.
the Gamecock. And then here we go. So I'm trying not to. I bought him this picture.
Hmm.
Sorry. Let's see if that makes it better.
Yeah, I can see it.
It lost the little card that was beside it, but I bought it, and those were the Marines. And then, my husband, his call sign was Grace.
I got you.
And then I bought him this,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go very quickly because, well, you know what? Fuck you if you dox us. And then there's this.
Is that a shellback? Is that a shellback certificate at the top?
I don't know, Gunny. You tell me.
What does it say?
It says, hang on. Let's see. I'm just gonna point you this way. It says the domain of the Golden Dragon, all known by men, by thee, presents to all pirates. let's see. He was on a ship.
Yeah, I think that's the shellback certificate, if I'm not mistaken. 'Cause yeah,
And then this is when he was in Desert Storm. And then this is the blanket that I bought for him. Never underestimate an old man who is also a USMC veteran.
yeah, I like that too.
So, and God said, "Let there be Marines." And the devil ran in fear, and so I bought him this. I bought him this blanket for Christmas one year, and then of course he has his knives up there, and then this one.
That's
So
his First Marine Division, I think it looks like.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was with during my last two tours in Iraq. And well, actually, all of my tours were all under First Marine Division. So
Yeah, I'm sure people are taking pictures. If you want to dox me, bring it on, because in this cabinet, trust me when I tell you, you will meet your maker if
yeah,
you come.
that's the 2A cabinet, isn't it?
It is. It is. And look at this guy.
The bulldog. I like the bulldog.
Yeah. And he's, look, I mean,
That's cool.
he's pretty amazing. So when you say that us liberals, we don't take up with the pew pews, fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
That's all I
that's always seems to be the misconception is that we don't own any, or that we don't. Yeah,
and my husband actually taught me how to you know, use the pew pews. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
yeah,
So
cool.
but anyway, Gunny, thank you so much for having us today.
No
We
problem.
really appreciate you, and
I,
you're a dear friend of ours, your family.
Oh, I
And
appreciate that. This is one of the things, as frustrated as I get sometimes with these Trump supporters, and some days I'm like, man, I really just feel like I'm not getting the message through. And what's the point? It's people like you and your husband and the kind words that I'm getting that really make me just want to continue to do this. And I appreciate your sentiment, and I appreciate your husband's service and everything that you guys are doing on your end as well and supporting the live. Because I wouldn't be doing this right now if it weren't for you guys.
my thing is, I'm trying not to cry, but I appreciate you so very much for serving our country, and my husband as well, because you guys are literally the backbone of America. And we have to get the Fanta fascists out of here.
Yes.
And I had a guy ask me in the grocery store one day. This has been about let's see, it was before the election, and I had cervical cancer, so I had to have a full hysterectomy. Is it you?
Yeah.
Look at the hands. Gosh. But I wanted to tell you this really quick.
Go ahead.
So I'm in the grocery store here in my town, and we're in the military town. You know where we are. So this I had on my Kamala t-shirt, but literally it has a comma and then love.
Yeah. I've seen them.
Yeah. So I'm standing at the seafood counter, and the folks know me there. So this guy comes up behind me, puts his hand on my shoulder, and I have pretty aggressive nails. They're short, but I grabbed him and I dug my nails into his hand, and I turned around and I said, "Do I fucking know you?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "I pretty sure, I don't know anybody money. Why the fuck did you put your hands on me?
Yeah. Weird.
He goes, your shirt. I said, what about it? I said, apparently you're MAGA. I said, I'm not. And he goes, well, you do know that you're YT. And I'm just saying this for
Sure.
TikTok friends. And I said, and what does that have to do with the price of eggs in China? And he goes, well, you do know. I said, sir, I was born and raised in this state. I am a Democrat. That might piss you off. I said, but don't you ever come for me again. I said, and if you put your hands on me again, this is not going to go well. And
Man.
my folks that know me there behind the seafood counter looked at me and they said, do you need some help? I go, I got this. And he said, what is she? And they are black people. And they said, did you just ask that, or did you just say to that woman, you're YT? And he said, yeah, I don't understand the reason for the shirt.
Damn. So basically, because you're a fan of Kamala and you're right and you're white, he didn't like that, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And so the seafood manager came out. He's got this big voice like that. I love him. He's amazing. And he goes, this is my girl right here. He said, so, sir, you need to go away or we'll have you escorted out of the store.
Damn. Good.
And when I get mad, like, I cry. And people think that's a sign of weakness, but it's not. It's just so that I don't throat punch somebody, right? Yeah. So anyway, my husband taught me how to fight. He taught me how to use a pew pew. And so I'm not the one.
Yeah.
Not
I say that to people all the time. I'm not the one, guy. I'm not the one.
literally just turned and walked away, and I gave him the finger.
So never in my wildest dreams, even if I like know you or recognize you, I never like I just never touch people, like that. But more importantly, if I didn't know you and then I was gonna make a bold statement like I just did, to touch somebody and do that is like, uh,
Asinine. It's
yeah, yeah. But that just goes to show you, and I will say this, I always make this statement, and it ties into a certain degree that MAGA is engaging in this cultural war because, you know, that's all they know is the cultural war about stuff because they don't know policy. But since Trump has won, especially this time, in the specific relationship to what we're talking about here, and by what your shirt and being YT, is that they become more emboldened to be openly racist.
yes. Yes, they do. And I actually had to shut a neighbor down about 2 weeks ago because my godson, he is a black man.
Hmm.
And he is going into the Marine Corps when he graduates high school
Hmm.
this June. And I just begged him, I said, please, please just reconsider, especially under this administration. And
Sure.
he said, he calls me moms and he calls my husband pops. And he said, I'm going. And I said, well, at least you're here and we have all of our military IDs so I can go on base and I can see him. And he goes, please do me a favor. He goes, do not stop and yell at me. He goes, because they'll PT me to unalive me.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
never do that to you. I said, but trust me, I'll be keeping eyes out for you.
For sure.
Right. You know, I mean, he was in the grocery store with me a couple of months back, and I saw a acquaintance, I will say, lightly. And she said, "Who's this?" I said, "This is my godson." And she just looked at me, and I said, "If you're going to be a Karen, get the fuck away from me." And I said, "This is my godson." And he just looked at me and he goes, "Who's this, Moms?" And I go, "Nobody important. Let's move along."
Yeah.
And so it's just ridiculous how stupid people are and ignorant to facts and things. And so when they approach me and say, "Who's this?" or whatever, and I say, "This is my godson," and they say, "Oh, your skin color's different." Really? Really? Are you that stupid? Are you that stupid?
Yeah.
He is just as much my child as the one that I gave, um, as the one that I gave birth to.
Yeah.
So, what is it? What am I listening to?
Oh, no, you're very muffled, Nathan.
I'm not. There's something going on in the background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate you having me
No
over.
problem. I shot you a follow. I think you have to approve it though. Okay.
Can I say something next, please?
Yeah, yeah, you're up next. Yeah, for sure.
I'm on a private account,
Okay.
so I will follow you, or I will accept it. And
Okay.
thank you for us today, Gunny.
No problem.
Yeah, Nathan's mom, can I say something to you before you go? Absolutely, 100%. First of all, I want to say, way to handle that MAGA guy like a champ. And also, it just reminds me of, I'm actually dating this young white tea guy, and yeah, it's just like the first time we ever went out on a date, people looked at us like weird. And even then we live in a pretty like left wing place. But I just remind myself, oh, this is still the South where I live at. I'm South in Georgia, and I'm 24, by the way, for TikTok purposes.
Yeah.
24. Okay. Yeah. So I will say this to you. My biological child, you know, he's YT. So when he was in high school, he ran track, and we live in an area in the low country where, you know, a lot of the kids on the track team are BLK, right? I don't know if I can say this for TikTok purposes, but anyway, he met this young lady that was in his class, and um, and they were just enthralled in each other. I mean, they loved each other to pieces. But she was going away to college while he was staying here in college. And, you know, she said, "Nathan, I will stay in touch with you." And her mom came to me at a track meet, and she said, "Do you mind that our children, you know, may date?" And I go, "Who do you think you're talking to?" I'm like, "I don't care who my son loves. It doesn't matter what color the person is, or if, you know, I will support my son no matter what." And I said, "I am just upset that she's going away because he is going to be devastated because they're very close." And they went to